Movember is an independent global charity started in 2003 in Australia by Travis Garoni and Luke Slattery. These were just two friends, but today, Movember is a movement with 4 million men on board. It has been the reason for the sprouting of millions of mustaches around the world during the month of November each year. Most men, as they are called, raise vital funds and awareness for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and mental health. Here in the UK, Movember just won the heart of Colin Jackson, a 3-time world champion.
Hi guys, this is Colin Jackson and I am very pleased to announce that this year I am participating in Movember as team captain of the Maurice Lacroix UK team. Now I am looking to assemble the best team ever, so I'm inviting you to join me. Now if you do that, you have the opportunity of course of getting involved for a very good cause, but also the opportunity to win this very special limited edition Maurice Lacroix Pontus S watch, and I will be presenting it to you over lunch. So come on guys, your time is now. Join me and grow that tash.
According to UK prostate cancer, 1 in 4 black men get prostate cancer. Here in the UK, 250,000 men are living with it. There's no known reason for that, and intensive research is being conducted to find out why. Testicular cancer is relatively uncommon. It accounts to just 1% to all other types of cancers that affect men. Here in the UK, just around 3,000 people annually get it. Another serious problem affecting men's health is mental illness. Globally, it's estimated 1 in 4 men end up with mental disorder. World Health Organization is telling us that the cost to cure mental illness has gone up to $2.5 trillion. The seriousness of the problem is attracting influential men from around the world, and therefore people like Colin Jackson from the UK wants to do something about it. I would love to speak to him to understand what really attracted him into this particular campaign. We embark on a journey to find out what has been happening. We have just arrived in Cardiff from London. Hopefully, Colin Jackson is somewhere waiting. We will be meeting here at the Village Hotel, not far from Cardiff City, but it's located in a quiet and beautiful location.
Oh, Jackson got a good one. It's Jackson in the first hurdle. Also going well is Pierce and Jarrett. And it's Jackson going away. 2 to go. Jackson takes it. Jarrett gets the silver and Pierce the bronze. 12.91, a new championship record, and I make that a new world record for Colin Jackson.
Congratulations, you've done great. I mean, sports world cannot really be what it is without your major contribution.
Thank you.
So congratulations to you. Let's just take us a quick journey about your sporting career.
I think I was lucky enough that I worked very hard in my sporting career from a very young age, and I came quite good at the hurdles event very young. By the age of 21, I had won medals at Commonwealth, European, World and Olympic level.
Wow.
So I was, accelerated really into, into the world-class limelight very quickly. And I think I was lucky to do that. But then, as you very well know, the most difficult part of achievement then is sustaining that for a long period of time.
True.
And not only sustaining it then, but try to elevate yourself. Try to even improve on what you're doing already. So for me, it was an interesting journey just to go through my career and just to be the best I could possibly be. I think then as I came to the end of my career, I won my final title in 2002. It was my last outdoor season in Munich, winning my 4th European title over the 110 metre hurdles. I started to really reflect on what I wanted to do after and what influence I could have or what difference I could make, because I always thought people invested in me. And the fact they invested in me made me become the person I am today.
True.
So I thought in some way, some shape, some form, if I can give back anything that can just give people a little bit of mindset, give them something to think about, and then they can develop their own story from there.
Yeah, sure.
So first of all, I set up a couple of academies, Red Shoes Academy, which we try to inspire as many young people as we can with sporting legends that go into schools and relate their stories to certain issues that young people may be dealing with now.
Okay.
And make sure that young people understand they're not the first to have gone through it.
Yeah.
Many people have gone through it before and have come out on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's a very important thing for me. That's something I have a passion for. But then also onto prostate cancer. I'm working with prostate cancer here in the UK because two of my uncles suffered from it.
What got you into it?
Yeah, well, first of all, it was when you're a young man, you don't really think about cancer in any shape, really, because it's such a long way away from you. It seems like it's very distant. But as you get older and you get into your middle age, and I thought to myself, well, you know, I need to have a real overhaul health check. Because one of my uncles survived prostate cancer, the other one passed away, unfortunately, from it. And so I thought, I don't want really that to happen to me. Let's make sure where they've made their mistakes, I don't want to make my mistake.
True.
So if I could go in and get all my health checks done and everything's absolutely perfect, then I have that, then becomes my starting point to where I can go from tomorrow, the next day, etc., etc. So I then kind of started to look into different types of cancers before I gave my support to any. And the statistics for prostate cancer and for the Afro-Caribbean community, for me, was startling. I didn't really realise how much it affected us as a group of people. And that's really what inspired me, because I thought to myself, you know what? We need so many positive black men role models in this world, and we don't want to lose them. Just because of ignorance. Yeah. So for me, it was very important that I tried to get the message out to Afro-Caribbean men. Please go and get yourself tested. You are wonderful, wholesome men, and we need you to be great role models for our future. So for me, it's like, let's do something about it. I got involved in this whole Movember campaign. Really because one of my partners that I work with, Maurice Lacroix, the watch brand, is actually sponsoring Movember this year. And because Maurice Lacroix are involved and prostate cancer is something that's really close to my heart, and it's important that the Movember campaign really raises men's health awareness across different scopes. So we're talking about prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and also mental health. And all these things are things that I think we should be aware of. And for me, if I grow a moustache and people notice it and they ask me why I'm doing it, which is to raise both awareness for the campaign and as much money as we possibly can for this ultimately great cause, in my opinion.
This money then, when it's raised, where does it go? How does it make a difference? Yeah,
well, the biggest thing that we have and we suffer from in men's health issues are research scientists. Because it's not really that glamorous, so there's not that much money pumped in to the research of prostate cancer, testicular cancer, compared to something like breast cancer, for example. If I think right now, I was going to say don't quote me on this, but I'll allow you to. I think the prostate cancer real test hasn't changed since the 60s.
Wow.
Whilst if you think how breast cancer has changed in its research and the development of that and what it's achieved is incredible. And I put that a lot down to men being a little bit stum and not allowing it to happen, while women are far more vocal in the same circumstances. So you can see for us it's about that money that we can bring in and then we can invest directly into research, which ultimately can keep us alive.
Is there like a form of apathy, or is it fear? Because talk about me, I don't want to go to the hospital unless I have to.
I understand it. I absolutely understand your story. And that's a normal story. And you feel well, you're 100% as far as you're concerned, there's nothing wrong. But you can stay that way just by getting a checkup. And I think that is the crucial message for me, to get into our everyday language and our thought process. Ultimately, it's about us. You know, how do we want to end our life? We can end our life in a reasonable way, or a way that it's kind of disappointing because you couldn't be bothered to do something. And that is who the people you're leaving behind has got to deal with that. I mean, you're going to suffer, yes, but ultimately the people you leave behind are going to be the ones that are left in real trauma. And it's something that you could have really had a lot of control under. So if you think if you can control something by just simply going to the doctor and getting yourself checked up, then do it. That's my mentality. But the reality is, my uncle who got checked out and spoke to my mother about it ended up surviving. The one who kept silent died, and there was no reason for him to die because he would have recognised symptoms a long time ago before anything's done. So he should, as soon as he spotted anything, get out there, get himself checked up. And I spend a lot of time nagging women as well, to say to the women, if you see anything wrong with your fellas, what their attitudes are, anything, push them to go to the doctor because it is vital.
Would you then think about doing something in Africa, for example?
Anytime, anyway. I get invited over, I go, I speak. I was in Kenya recently, down in South Africa, Namibia. So anywhere that it's necessary, I tell people I am there to really push out that message. Because great, incredible, strong, male role models are not always around. And the ones we have, we need to keep.
As I look on the streets, there's a lot of men walking, just doing their own thing as they do it every day. I just wonder how many of them think it's important to get checked by the doctor. I'm here today to find out from men their thoughts about getting checked.
As an African man, that's not a culture, but I believe that that's very important because from time to time you hear people dying of strange diseases and stuff like that. And you get up early in the morning and you think you are fit, and before you realize you collapse by the wayside. But I believe that in contemporary times, I believe that it's very important that as time goes on, you have to frequent the hospital to check how your body anatomy is functioning and stuff like that, because for you to be productive in society, you also have to take good care of your health, which is very important.
My father has prostate cancer, and he's quite fortunate to have it on the outside because I know you can get it and it's on the inside, and being inside is quite severe. But I've been checked myself, and I think that everybody else should be checked as well. I have sons. I have one son, and I'm going to make sure he gets checked. My father, his brother and father had prostate cancer and died from it. So I believe it's in my family. Mostly for black people, I think they should get checked, because it's a serious illness.
The prostate is a gland that lies underneath the bladder, and it surrounds the tube that comes out of the bladder, which is called the urethra. It's only found in men, and it's about the size and shape of a walnut. Its main job really is to produce fluid to keep the sperm and semen healthy. There are three main conditions that can affect the prostate. The most common one we see is called an enlarged prostate. It's not cancerous, but it just means it's enlarging because the man is getting older. It's commonly seen in men from about the age of 50 onwards. The second condition that we see in men is called prostatitis, and this is where the prostate becomes infected or inflamed, and it's much more common than men think, and it usually appears in men from about the age of 30 to 50, but in fact it can affect men of all ages. But the third condition that we see is prostate cancer. And prostate cancer is certainly more common in men as they get older. Most cases are over the age of 65, but we do see it in men who are 50 years old, and indeed in a few men even younger than that, in their 40s.
I'm a nurse, and for the last 25 years I've been concentrating a lot of my work on the black and ethnic minority communities, but for the last 10 years I've worked for the Prostate Cancer UK, and we have a program within this charity targeting African Caribbean men because of the high risk of prostate cancer.
Just to clarify, is it true that more Afro-Caribbean men are more victims than any other community? 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime.
compared to 1 in 8 men of white or Asian origin who will be diagnosed. So you see, the incidence is far higher among the black community.
Do we know the reason for that?
We don't have the exact reason, but some studies suggest that perhaps there's a genetic link. If you look at the slave trade or the transatlantic slave trade, the people that were taken to the colonies in the Caribbean and America, their incident prostate cancer are very high. And if you look where the parts of Africa they come from, West Africa in particular, the incidence of prostate cancer is very high. So there appears to be a genetic link, but we need to do more research to get the conclusive evidence.
And that's why what your charity is currently engaged on, doing a lot of research to find out these important answers.
Yes, we are. The charity is investing £25 million over the next 3 years in finding a better test for prostate cancer, in better treatment, but also finding the cause of prostate cancer and why there's a higher risk in black men. It's very important that men should get checked. And all men in general, according to government NHS guidelines, which is the prostate risk management, all men can go at age 50 to their GP and request a prostate check. And the GP is obliged to tell the person the pros and cons of the test, and then the patient make an informed choice whether to proceed or not. With black men, we suggest that they go to their GPs in their 40s and have a discussion with them about their high risk and get checked. Once you start getting checked, you could do it every year or every 2 years. There's no strict guidelines about that, and that's something you can decide as a person if you want to have it done every year or every 2 years. The actual test, the blood test, is not expensive. It's around £10 each, so it's not a question of cost.
What help is there?
If you go to your doctor and you have an abnormal reading, it requires investigation, which is a biopsy, to confirm whether you have cancer or not. When they confirm that you have cancer, then they will do scans to see if it's spread or not. And based on these results, they can tell you what treatment option you can have. Now, cancer, when it's staged in 3 different stages. Early, which is localized, meaning the cancer is confined to the prostate. Locally advanced means the cancer just breached on the outside of the prostate, and advanced means it's spread outside the prostate. If we find localized cancer, this is potentially curative with surgery, and nowadays we have surgery where we can remove the prostate with a robot or open surgery. You have radiotherapy. There are 2 types. One is external beam, is similar to an X-ray, or where they plant radiation seed directly into the prostate. There are other treatments as well, but those are the main 2 treatments for localized or early prostate cancer, which has a curable intention.
What about when it is late? Is there help at all?
Yes, there is. Prostate cancer generally is a slow-growing cancer, and if it's caught late and we cannot perform surgery or radiotherapy treatment, they can be treated with hormones. We know prostate cancer lives on testosterone, which is produced by the testicles or testes, and what they do is to stop the man producing these testosterone levels, and by stopping the testosterone, you slow the cancer growth. Well, certainly prostate cancer, UK is the largest charity dealing with prostate cancer, and so we have a dedicated helpline where we have 11 nurses who specialists who are able to take calls and speak to men in confidential conversation about their concerns or about their treatment or anything relating to prostate cancer. We follow up that with written information. We also have peer support where we can get a man with prostate cancer to speak to someone who is thinking about their treatment options. We offer a wide variety of service. We go out to the community and do awareness talk, and we're happy to do this for any community groups. If they contact us, we have special information targeting the African Caribbean community. And as I say, we have special talks to them trying to raise awareness. Well, it's so important, our men have to put our masculinity behind us. You can save your life. Ignoring it is not going to make it go away. Please come forward, go and see your doctor and get checked. It doesn't cost you anything. We live in a society where we have equal access to health care. Use it. You paid your taxes. Go and get checked.
It's a different day, and yes, we are back in Wales. This is Celtic Manor Hotel in Newport. It's a very beautiful day, and as we are approaching Christmas, a lot of decorations all around the hotel. It is 30th of November, the very big day Colin Jackson has been looking forward for. And he did not come alone, came with his father, mother, his dear wife, and his son. Let us find out why. On this very bed, Colin Jackson will be lying on it to get his mustache shaved. That will mark the end of Movember campaign, which began on 1st of November. The day has come at last. What are your thoughts?
The day has come. It's arrived. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I don't think I've ever been shaved before by anybody. So this is going to be the first time that's going to happen. But I think it's a little bit of relief. But it's a good idea. It's fantastic.
Last time we spoke, you called it caterpillar.
Yeah. It's definitely a hairy caterpillar, but we'll get rid of it now. Yeah, let's see. And I'll most probably lose that extra warmth because it is quite unusual that keeps your lips quite warm. So I'll have a shock when I go out and it's all gone.
Yeah. I'll let you go. We'll talk after you have done it.
All right, after the deed is done.
Here it goes. It's kind of like going to the dentist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you
Not painful.
Yeah. That was painful. But yeah, I was like, oh,
The weird
like,
sort of feeling,
it's like the
isn't
dentist. The noise, the
Just with some nice music.
Send all the bodies down to
Sweeney
Todd. There you go. You have a likeness to him. Thank God they're witnesses.
I don't know very much.
I felt the words, oh, I'm busted, they'll come there. If the price is right, you'd find your way. See, I've denied it.
Yeah, it's exfoliated the skin to get off all the excess dirt and hair. And now I've just put a hot towel to open the pores, so it helps shave a lot easier and smoother. And at the end you put a cold towel on to close the pores. So a lot of blokes shave for a shower, and actually you should shave straight after, when your pores are still open.
Oh, that feels nice now. I'm tempted to lick my lips. Is it safe to fall asleep?
See?
Yeah, it's kind of like, you see, you may never wake up.
Say hello for me. Yeah, I shaved a few people at the start for November for charity through media. And one had come in and someone put his name down. And he literally said, look, I can't grow a moustache, there's no point in being here. And I looked at his face, he's like, actually,
you're right.
Yeah. No blood? That's all. Right, set up me, I'll take it down.
Oh.
Check 2 seconds now. No more time.
Hey! He's back! He's back. Fantastic job. I recognise him. Cheers, man.
Very welcome, my pleasure.
How does it feel at last?
Oh, I feel like my old self. No, it's fantastic. It feels a little bit cold on my top lip. I must admit, I wasn't expected to feel so cold. But yeah, Yeah, I'm pleased with that job. Yeah.
Are you gonna miss your mustache?
I don't think so. I think I can wait 12 months, I think, before it needs to grow again. So, but so far, so good. I'm pleased.
I know all those 30 days since the 1st of November, when you never had a mustache before, probably every day was a temptation to get rid of it. How did you survive?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, when you're first growing the moustache, about day 2 or 3, you could really shave it again if you really wanted to. Nobody would notice, but I had to see that temptation and just wait for it to grow. And as soon as it started getting a little bit thicker, I was really surprised how thick it went so quickly. But it was fun. It was fun.
Big sacrifice. All for what?
Yeah, I said a big sacrifice. I sacrificed my face. Yeah, but a very good cause. You know, Movember itself, what it does, what it brings to the awareness of the general public of why we're doing this thing is, to me, is a real personal deal. So it was a tiny sacrifice for me in reality. So I'm very pleased that I did it, but I'm also pleased that it's over.
Mustache gone, but there's a cause which you embarked on, that journey. I mean, how does it carry on?
Well, the journey will never finish for me. I'll still raise a lot of money and awareness I possibly can for Prostate Cancer UK. That's the big charity that I work with in men's health. So for me, it's really important that we keep that awareness growing and wait for the next initiative. What could it be? Only time will tell.
Will you spot a mustache again come November next year?
Possibly I will. Possibly I will sprout another one next year. But let's see. I'm pretty sure if they ask, I don't think I'll resist.
Great moment to see the end of this.
The end. All over. It's gone. New Colin. 2010, this is where they hosted the Ryder Cup. So, it's an incredible golf course.
Yeah.
One of the multi-millionaires in the world sets up also. It was originally a hospital. And a couple of my friends were actually born in the hospital when it was a hospital.
The Movember campaign ends this year, but it will be back next year. This campaign is not just about men sporting mustaches and getting them shaved. It is about focus on men's health. It is about fighting these killer diseases for men to be around a bit longer. It is about encouraging men to get checked by the doctors to make sure all is well before it gets late.